wall framing, doors on either side. Hi, Ida Rose. We're just shooting some content. Let's start with who you guys are.
Okay, so I'm Ida Rose Florez, and
With Florez.
we live out here north of Williams on 10 acres, and we're building an off-grid homestead. And the purpose is not just to feed ourselves and shelter ourselves and live sustainably for ourselves, but also as a demonstration site so that people can learn different ways of, living with the land and living close to the land. Our goal is to generate and regenerate the resources that we need in order to live. So right here on the land, so that we take care of the land and the land takes care of us.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
for us, it's a learning process, right? We're trying to learn this, but we also want to teach and we want other people to learn it, right?
Yeah.
And so Ida Rose has been really careful about trying different techniques for things so that we can say, okay, well, you could do it this way, or you could do it that way, or you could do it this other way. And, we'll see which way works. Hopefully they'll all work, and we'll just give people different ideas on how to do things
Right.
and
Yeah.
how to grow food up here in the high desert.
Oh yeah, so it's mostly water,
Right.
wind, and weather, which I guess are kind of all kind of the same thing. But and a lot of it also is the soil. So we have really hard, heavy clay here, and clay. The upside of clay is that it holds water, and it holds moisture, which also means that it holds nutrition more. But the problem is that it doesn't drain properly or drain enough. And so, you have to figure out ways of working with working with that. So we've decided for at least now, kind of for phase, I don't know what phase we're in, but we're building in raised beds. We're growing in raised beds. We've got plans for at least 2 areas where we're going to have food forests.
Okay.
So
Which for the audience out there, what's a food forest?
so a food forest is a permaculture approach to growing food the way that nature would grow food.
Okay.
So if you look at a forest, the ground isn't bare.
Right.
The ground is covered. Well, what is it covered with? It's covered with whatever is falling off of the trees, but there's also usually plants that grow right along the surface. And so the idea is to mimic growing in layers, which conserves water.
Right.
It provides wind protection. It creates microclimates. It also the plants live in a symbiotic relationship with one another. Soil is alive,
Right.
and when we cultivate soil in a way and we care for it as precious and alive, then that life energy comes into our food,
Yeah.
and so with a food forest, that's what the forest is doing. It's really what's happening underground. So, I definitely use mycorrhizal, fungi in our raised beds, and when I'm planting, there's some consideration that some plants don't actually use mycorrhizal fungi, but fungi it forms that network in the soil, right?
Yeah.
That makes the nutrition bioavailable to the plant. So it doesn't matter if you can go to a big box store, you can go wherever and buy your fertilizer,
Yeah.
but if your soil can't support the uptake of the nutrition to the plant, you're just wasting your money in the plastic bag that you bought it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I feel like Johnny Carson.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, how you doing, Ida? Good to have you on the show.
Well, originally, I was planning on growing peaches in and apples in both of them, especially the peaches. But once it was up, I'm like, all right, we're gonna put a semi-dwarf in here, in the big one. We're sitting in the 20 by 20. But we decided we're gonna grow and extend our season and grow our annual veg in here as well, and also start cultivating. We're starting small with a small worm farm
Right.
that eventually we hope to expand.
Well, thank you so much for giving us a little bit of time on
Oh,
the
sure,
microphone.
yeah. I mean, we're really
Yeah,
pleased.
I mean, for me, it's so solidly built, right?
Yeah.
The doors are so solid and open and close, which seems to be a big problem with our other one.
Right.
It just, the wind gets really strong out here, and haven't had any issues with it whatsoever.
Not at all.
It shedded the snow very well.
Yeah.
Didn't have any issues with that. It's just, I can't say how impressed I am with it.
Thank you so
You
much.
know,
Yeah,
I even like the way you put the screws in, and then you came back in the backside and
Ground them
and
off?
ground them off
Yeah.
so that they weren't. I mean, it's just the attention to detail and the whole way in which you put it together, the design itself. Just very impred.
Thank you. Yeah.
It just works really well, and it's so solidly
And
in
trust
the
me,
ground.
he's looking.
Yeah, well, I'm an engineer. That's
That's
what
how
I
he
do.
is.
But yeah, it's just like, and I had some other people come out here and look at it. It's like, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.